Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, and tonight I am going to tell each and every one of you why Saddiq is as good as dead. I do have to warn you, this is one of the darkest, most chilling theories and news information and all those things combined into one. It causes a little bit of anxiety. It is one of those moments in The Walking Dead that I think are going to be completely shocking, so I do have to warn you guys in advance. You guys know last night I was super charged up. The energy level was high. Our 9:30 stream tonight, I think I'm going to have that energy back at 9:30 tonight. But this is going to be something that many of you have offered bits and pieces of this, and I'm going to come out and give you some facts and then get your thoughts on this. Before we start, I want to give a shout out to the Patreon Army. Thank you for everything that you guys do. You guys see the PDL sponsors, everybody here, and I know you guys are like, is Saddiq a liar? Is he going to betray them? Saddiq has a deep, deep, dark secret, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to start out with just a couple questions for the group. What type of doctor cannot hold a scalpel? Think about that for a second. What type of doctor cannot perform surgery? And I need everybody to do me a big favor in this stream tonight. First of all, hit the like button before we get started. It's beyond that, kitty pet. We use the PTSD so much. I don't think it's a case of PTSD. It's a different type of sickness that Saddiq has. So for this stream, what I need everybody to do is I need you to take your feelings of Saddiq and just put them to the side. Whether you like him, whether you trust him, take any information that you know about Saddiq and do not use it for this stream. I'm going to read the facts. These are the facts, okay? And I want you to see if you pick up anything with this. Saddiq told the group, I was supposed to die with them. I was ready to. And then Alpha whispered in my ear, tell them. Something hit me and everything went black. When I woke up, I was alone. What happened was evil. It was evil, and I think she kept me alive to tell that story, to scare you, and to drive us all apart again. That's a great speech. But that's not what happened during the flashback scene. During the flashback scene, we didn't see Alpha whisper to him, tell them. We saw a bloody knife, and Alpha says to him, good. Now, according to Saddiq's story, he never saw the decapitations because he was hit in the head and he blacked out. But there's a bloody machete, and she says, good. Saddiq cannot perform surgery on Carol because Saddiq is the one that decapitated the victims. Alpha forced Saddiq to do the dirty work for her. Saddiq is carrying that secret, which is why when he saw Carol again, he completely loses it. He can't even look at Carol because he knows he's the one that actually did it, and he's carrying that sickness around with him. It's not PTSD. It is absolutely Alpha's twisted psychological warfare is not to the degree that she's going to do it. If Alpha was going to do it, she would have made him watched. She would have made him see it. But Saddiq said he was hit in the back of the head and he woke up. Not true. Not true at all. Saddiq is the one that took Henry's head. And let me give you a couple more points to this. That blonde boy, he screamed your name just before we took his head. Not before I killed him, not before I cut his throat, just before we took his head. That is a group act. I mean, Saddiq is seeing. He is exactly seeing that playback. Watch the bloody machete. There's no point that he ever would have seen the bloody machete if he was knocked out. I'm going to go through this again. Delaware Sasquatch says, oh snap, we're good. So think about this for a second. Alpha whispered in my ear, tell them. Something hit me and everything went black. When I woke up, I was alone. So every flashback that we see from Saddiq right now, we're filling in the pieces. So I got to tell you guys, this is a whole different level of absolute storytelling, mastery, brilliance, darkness. This is the saddest, most epic moment in the history of The Walking Dead. That all these people are dead because of Alpha exacting her will and making somebody else do it. What did we say last year? We said last year that this Red Fair needs to be a whole different level of evil, needs to be a whole different level of twisted. And we were mad because we didn't see the gore. You know why we didn't see the gore? Because they couldn't tell us it was Saddiq that did it. They couldn't tell us that there was more to this story that we were going to learn this season. So while we're looking around saying, you know, Alpha could be the greatest villain of all time, but you know what? She started out a little bit weak. She didn't ramp it up. They're giving us these images slowly. That's exactly why we didn't see it. Because it's going to be a part of the story this year. It's going to be that Saddiq not being able to live with that. Or think about this. Alpha only gave him a taste of it. What is going to happen if that little bit of information gets out? Oh my God. Think about if Alpha has this wild card in her back pocket. What if she would have said to Carol, that blonde boy screamed your name when the doctor took his head. Oh my God, could you imagine? Carol would have turned around and she would have attacked Saddiq right away. So Alpha has already got Carol on the ropes, and now she's got another card she can play later on. And if that card gets through there, you got Rosita's not going to know what's going on. Eugene's not going to know what's going on. I mean, it's going to cause complete chaos and paranoia throughout all of Alexandria. She's always watching, and she's always got one move to go. While you guys are playing, she's in a whole different ball game. So, Saddiq not only could be dead by Carol, you know, as I said last night, I think the Saddiq story is going to end in a suicide. I really do. I think Saddiq thought, you know, it was a dead end. They were going to die anyway. Maybe it's a way to protect Rosita, keep him away from her family. There could have been other threats. Will the Bill. That's going to be really messed up, but I have to disagree. I'm saying he was forced to watch. He's traumatized, who totally changed his mind. Will, according to his dialogue, he says otherwise. And I'll tell you why. I mean, you can disagree, but I'm going to disagree with your disagreement. Because I don't think telling that story would have been bad. I think Saddiq could have said, I was tied up, there was nothing I could do, and she made me watch it. In fact, Will, I think if he would have told that story, I think he would have garnered some sympathy. That's why I think it's way, way darker than that. So he totally jumped over that, and, you know, as he says, she said, tell them, and then I was hit in the back of the head and everything went black. So if he was forced to watch and he was tied up, incapacitated, why not tell him that? Why not just, you know, come clean? Like, look, hey, She is dark and sinister. I saw it all, and I saw what she did to our people. That would be a rallying cry. But Saddiq is not about a rallying cry. Saddiq is lying. He is point blank lying, and he has no reason to lie for Alpha unless he has something to hide. Jim says, could this realization be why we see Rosita crying in the trailer? Certainly, we could. That's a great point, Jim. Jim Super Chat. The realization could be why Rosita's crying in the trailer. Or, what if Saddiq came clean with Rosita before he kills? I just have this feel that Saddiq is not going to live long enough for Carol or someone else to take out their revenge. I don't know if he's going to leave a note, or I think he's going to have to tell somebody. I think Saddiq possibly tells Rosita, this is what she made me do. And here's why I think it's important to Rosita. Lure the Purse says maybe he takes Carol's suicide from the comics. I think these are all great points, Tyler. Great point. He has this. Look, there's a couple things. One, Saddiq's a doctor. And I know you guys say this, but we usually can't lose a doctor till we get a doctor. So we got Dante. Saddiq is expendable from that regard. Number two, he's carrying all this inside. But number three, what if he tells Rosita, I was forced to do this, otherwise she was going to come after you, and I can't live with it anymore, and he takes his own life. This is the seriousness of what I think we're dealing with. So Viola, I don't know that I agree that Rosita would just find him dead. I think this story has to be told for the viewers, that we're already kind of on to something and we're talking about it. And I'm not saying it has to be 100% right, but I don't think this is a secret that's going to go to the grave and then Rosita's just going to be like, hey, what happened to Saddiq? But if Alpha gave him an ultimatum and said, I'm going to find your pregnant wife if you don't do this, and he's got a choice and he's got a machete, do I kill Henry, who they're going to kill anyway, or do I let her kill me and then she's going to go get Rosita next? Look, I'm not telling you what you should do in that situation, because I think it is a very, very difficult situation for any person to be in. But Alpha has the upper hand. She's twisted. She's dark. And if Saddiq did in fact kill those people, I absolutely would say it is the single-handed, most dark, most despicable, most bizarre act in the history of The Walking Dead. I cannot think of a moment that would be more shocking and more just out there than that. And Tyler, could it tie into Carol's suicide? I think that would be a good, there is a tie to the two, but he really, there were two moments in the episode where, one, when they were at the council and Gage started saying, let's put their head on pikes. Saddiq had to leave. He was gone. So Gage's friends were decapitated. So when Gage spoke, it hit Saddiq. When Carol was on the table, it hit Saddiq. Well, what do Gage and Carol have in common? They are two of the people that lost somebody. The highway woman, when she stood up, that was Ozzy. So they lost a couple people with the highwaymen. So I have to ask you this, and I want you guys to reserve your thoughts for Saddiq. Will the Bill, is there any possibility that Alpha said this so he lured them out to be captured and then was made to watch and still be this traumatized? So, Will, I kind of get the direction you're going, and there's a lot of variations of it. Alpha has not attacked them since that happens. That's why I don't think it was a ploy, because for now, they're all good. Alpha wants land. So Alpha's watching, and Lydia said this as well. See, here's the nature of Alpha, William. She is not trying to kill everybody. She says there are one rule between our people. Stay on your land. She's not killing them. They migrated for the winter. I mean, she could be picking them off one by one. In Alpha's mind, these two communities can't exist until you do something wrong, and then we're going to take over. And the group did something wrong. They've trespassed 3 times, as minor as that may be. So, did she use that as a ploy for Saddiq? I don't know that I've seen enough of other interactions with Saddiq to really say she's manipulating him like a puppet. But let me also go back to where you said, then he was made to watch and still be traumatized. So, I don't think he was made to watch. Now, let's put everything to the side and just focus on what he said and what he saw. He said, she whispered to me, I was hit in the back of the head, and I woke up alone. Okay? That in itself means he got in front of all these people and said, I did not see what happened. And when he woke up alone, he was tied to that tree. So we have to take that at face value. Why would he tell everybody he was, and I want all you guys to answer this question, please. And do me a favor, everybody here, a couple hundred people, everybody slap the like button. If you like what we do, if you like the theories, you like talking about The Walking Dead, everybody in this room, hit that button. So the question I have for everybody here, why would Saddiq lie? Why would he lie to that whole group of people? Why would he get up in front of everybody and say, I was knocked out and I woke up by myself? What's the point? Gina, elaborate on that. I don't see how that would save his butt. I really don't. I don't think that lie saves him. I don't think they're going to, with what he went through, I don't think anybody is going to say, oh, you should have broke your ropes and fought beta. I mean, if there's hundreds of them and you're tied up, there is no reason not to say, they tied me up. Look, listen to how this sounds. They tied me up and they made me watch this. She is evil. There's nothing wrong with that. That actually saves your butt. That is the conversation. If that was true, there's nothing wrong with saying that truth. But when he lies about it, he's lying because he has something to hide. So either you're right, see, let's go down that avenue. Either he begged for his life, or he took part in it. Now, let's entertain the he took part in it separately. Was Saddiq, okay, here's the question I have for all of you, okay? Saddiq's story says, all right, do you or do you not believe that Alfred whispered to him, tell them, and he was knocked out? Do you believe that? Yes or no? Simple question, everybody. Do you believe that is exactly what happened? Because now, do you believe the flashback? All right, somebody said yes. So, B. Mick, I have no idea why you'd say yes, because, and David Buzz, because in the flashback scene, he saw a bloody machete, and Alpha says to him, good. So those two events cannot happen. That's the point I want you guys all to get. If he was knocked out, he never would have saw the machete because he said he woke up alone. If she said, tell them, then he wouldn't hear good. They're two different stories. So the first speech clearly is a lie. The second, we're starting to see exactly what happened frame by frame by frame. Why did we not see the decapitations? Because they didn't want us to see who actually did the deed, and it was Saddiq. And to further that point and to really, really drive it home, why is Saddiq, who was knocked out, listen at this, all right? If you don't buy into everything else I said, why is he suffering from flashbacks specifically when Carol is laying in front of him on the table? Not when he's talking to someone else, not when he's sitting there talking to Dante, but when Carol comes in specifically. Why is he having this anxiety around Carol when he didn't even see Henry get decapitated? If his story is correct and he was knocked out, he has no reason. But when he cut off Henry's head and Henry was screaming for his mom, and then Saddiq sees Carol there, it all comes back together. So Alpha gave us that sweet little nugget. The purpose of that conversation with Alpha and Carol was not just to let you see Alpha's dark, twisted nature and how she manipulates Carol. It's also to plant the seed in everybody's mind of Saddiq's guilt, because it was Henry. Beyond, and I have to tell you, this story, as we get more and more pieces of this, can absolutely be one of the best stories ever told through 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. It takes a lot of discipline for a writer to plan something out 6, 7, 8 episodes in advance. And Saddiq's story just got a whole lot more interesting. And I got to tell you, if you weren't along for the ride of all the other good things that are going on with The Walking Dead, I'm going to be watching every single move Saddiq. I'm going to be watching his reactions, who he talks to, who bothers him. And there was an interesting glance between Saddiq and Eugene as well. Not sure what that meant at this moment. They're both going through issues right now. But I'm going to be watching Eugene, watching Saddiq. Why? Saddiq is why. I mean, there's a whole lot of watching me, watching you, watching me going on right now. And as Jim said earlier, Rosita holding that baby. What if that's the moment Saddiq just told her, and she's looking at that baby thinking, the only reason you're here is because your dad cut off Henry's head. I mean, I can't even imagine Saddiq carrying that around with him and having to tell her. Thank you so much for that super chat. Dead on Leprechaun. It just got to a whole different level of twistedness. And of all the things we talked about that I want to leave you guys with, because we got another stream tonight at 9:30. How many people were slightly disappointed that we didn't see the decapitations last season? And that's always, for the whole last year, that's played on my mind. Like, why would they not tell us a little bit more of that story? And then what do we keep talking about? We're like, you know what? We're going to get this in flashbacks. We're going to see it. It's going to turn up that heat of how evil Alpha is. And now you're starting to see like, whoa, this is not just Alpha. This is the psychology of Alpha. I mean, putting the knife in their hand saying, you're going to do this. Think about how Henry, how Tara, how this group must have felt knowing, look, not only, the last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with, we got Eric Beach, like, if you're correct, Saddiq dying in 4, I don't know it's going to happen this soon. It could, but I do think, Eric, I think it's going to be a Saddiq suicide. I think he's going to go over the edge, and that might be something Rosita has to take with her to the grave, because I don't know that you could ever tell Carol that. That would be kind of mind-blowing to me. But let me say this. Put yourself in Tara or anybody else there. You talk about like the ultimate position of power. And this is what has just kind of disturbed me about Alpha. Like, your final moments are knowing not only are you going to die, but she is going to manipulate someone that was supposed to be on your side, and they're going to be the one to kill you. That is a whole different level of twisted. That is beyond anything that I've ever speculated, witnessed, theorized, anything. Like, it's bad enough knowing, watching your best friend die beside you. But then you watch Alpha kind of getting a kick out of it, making one of your friends do it. That is just, I can't imagine that level of torture. Unbelievable. I got another super chat here. We got What Wave says, I would have flashbacks too if that's okay. I started reading it, but I'm moving on. Ben Stevenson, mind blown. But he's not a traitor willingly. Ben, I'm going to say that I think that is that deep, dark, psychological area. And look, I could put it open for speculation again. And you know what? I will. Do not answer this question if you feel uncomfortable answering it. But I just want to do like a pulse survey. If you were in that situation and Alpha handed you the knife and basically you do this, you walk away, I don't harm your wife, I don't harm your kid, we're going to kill him anyway, it's implied, but you have to be the one to do it. If you feel comfortable answering that question, then do. I can honestly tell you, I don't know. it puts me in such a quandary, like such a corner that I'm confused. And actually, building up to this stream, I was having a little anxiety thinking about it. I don't think I could do it, but at the same time, I don't know that I couldn't do it. Some people are like, yeah, I could do it. But you see Henry there screaming out Carol. I got to tell you, Will, I agree. If that machete was in my hand, I might just say, you know what, Henry, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. And I would probably attack Alpha and let them kill me doing that. I don't know. I mean, I know your family's important to you, but in so many words, you're already dead. I mean, look at what Saddiq is going through with flashbacks. I don't feel sorry for him, but I'm just saying, how many people already think that mentally and emotionally Saddiq is dead? Because this is every time he sees Carol, every time he's in that situation, he's reliving it. And the best thing that could have happened to him, to be honest, is that he got knocked out and didn't see it. But if that happened, why would Alpha whisper in his ear, good? Because he was a good boy and did exactly what she made him do. Unbelievably dark, chilling, absolutely outrageous. And I will tell you, as this plays out, my hat goes off to Angela Kang, the showrunners, because this just, as we see more and more of this unfold, it is absolutely mind-blowing. I want to thank all of you. Ton of people here early for being here. At 9:30 tonight, we are going to be doing another version of our recap. We've been talking about episode 3 for a couple of days here. We're only about halfway through it. So I know a lot of you tuned in because you want to see the Saddiq news. Absolutely love it. Do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to our channel, subscribe, hang out with us. We're streaming every night. We're actually doing double shots. We're doing 7:30 and 9:30 every night. We do a quicker video at 7:30. It's going to be a quick Walking Dead topic, a strong theory. And then at 9:30, we're going to get into some real serious episode recaps, debate, bold predictions for the next couple episodes. So come back here 9:30 tonight if you guys have the time. Hang out with us. A lot of fun. I'm going to put a challenge out. I don't think you're going to find a more astute, a more passionate group of people out there that just come up with some awesome, amazing theories. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Really quickly, another shout out to the Patreon Army, the PDL sponsors, the Green Team, the members, the Super Chatters. You guys can see them. Some great comments, some great theories. The moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kales. We got Tyler Bradley super chatting again. Says, I would rely on others to defend my family. If I couldn't kill my people, I would attack Alpha. I agree with that too, Tyler. I'm probably in the same situation as you. I know Will the Bill said I would fight to the death. But I think the whole purpose of this story is to do what we just did. It's probably to put us in that middle ground and say, what would you do? So, and this reminds me of a quick story, if you guys have a second. 1 second, and I'm going to draw a parallel to this question and this story to another story. Anybody here familiar with Billionaire Boys Club? Story of Joe Hunt? If you are, raise your hand really quickly. Because the psychology in this episode and the psychology of the question that I just asked you goes along that line. It's where everything is not black or white. So the question was, could you kill someone? That was a question, right? And it's a very dicey topic. And Joe Hunt had asked that question, and the guy said, no, I couldn't. And he says, are you sure you couldn't? He goes, no, I could never do that. And he said, it's not black or white. And he said, what if you walked into a room and someone was assaulting your mother? And he said, could you kill someone? And And then the answer quickly turned to yes. So the action wasn't the good or bad. The circumstance is what changed the action. And I think in this situation, you could say Saddiq should fight, Saddiq should not fight, he should kill, he should not kill, but it's the situation that changed his action. And in that moment of what would happen to my child, what would happen to Rosita, ultimately, if he chose to do that, whether he's right or wrong is all a matter of personal perception. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I liked, but look to renew membership. In order to add a membership, there's a join button right down below. You can hit that button. There's several different tiers. I will be back here at 9:30. Really quick question. How many of you are going to be back here at 9:30 and are ready to talk about, there's a whole lot of other topics that we still have to get to for last week's episode. We got to about half of them. If you're excited, if you're ready to get more Walking Dead, then give it to me in chat right now. I will see, hopefully, all of you back tonight. Will the Bill's like, wait. Will, what am I waiting on? It's like, I can't wait any longer. We've been streaming this for well over the time limit, 35 minutes. Oh, an hour. Oh, my God, an hour. You know what? I've lost track of time. When did we start this stream? All right, Will, if you got a follow-up question, come back at 9:30, everybody. Go grab some dinner. Think about The Walking Dead. Hold on, Will's... Okay. 50 and a real Negan bat. Hold on. Will, what are you doing here? Will says, okay, $50 and a real Negan bat. He helped get them captured, forced to watch. He feels the guilt of luring each one out there. Henry, Ozzy, etc. Hang on. I gotta let this sink in for a minute. So, Will, you're saying that Saddiq was a traitor. He was the one that got them to walk out there to get them away from the group in the first place. I want to make sure I'm... $50 and a real Negan bat. He helped get them captured, forced to watch. He feels the guilt over luring each one out there. Henry, Ozzy, etc. So, Will, maybe this will turn into a bet. I don't agree, but we'll figure out something. We'll talk about it on tonight's stream. Appreciate that super chat. I'm certainly down for it. And I tell you, I feel pretty good about it because... Well, I'm not going to say you're wrong. How about that? Because that story would technically work. It absolutely would work. So I'm going to process this a little bit more because then, she could say, good, you lured him out and then he sees the bloody bat and she actually killed him. Yeah, that works. I don't agree because I think he did it. But I got to go back and do a little bit of research. So let's leave it at that, everybody. We've got a ton of people here. Come back tonight. We will add that to the criteria that we talk about later on tonight. All right, everybody. I will see you at 9:30. Be back here on time. We got a lot of good stuff. I promise I'll be just as hyped up, maybe a little bit more energetic because I got to be honest. This whole Saddiq visualizing what he potentially could do and that drama behind that, it's a little disturbing. Will the Bill, we could have two bets going on. We will. We'll do a bet. There will be a bet, and let me come up with some of the details. I'll see all of you guys at 9:30 tonight. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.